Just a couple of guys, a couple of microphones, and a heck of a lot of know. It's Football on the Know with Jim and Joe.
What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
wide receiver that was catching for the Steelers. It was so close, and it was a bang-bang play, don't get me wrong. But, like, when it comes in contact with the wide receiver, Jack Tatum hits him in the back, and the ball goes flying backwards to where Franco Harris made that crazy catch.
Yeah.
He did catch it. It was insane. Like, just got it before it touches the ground. But by rule, that play shouldn't have happened because of the rule being said that the first offensive player touches is the only one allowed to catch it.
Yeah.
If there is, and this is kind of where the debate happens for Raider fans and Steelers fans. We're like, oh, well, this Tatum hit the ball, or both of them hit the ball. And in that aspect, if, say, Tatum and the wide receiver touch that ball, then Franco Harris is allowed to catch the ball and advance it. If just the receiver, if the ball bounces off of Tatum or if it bounced off of both players, then the Franco Harris is allowed to catch it and advance it. Now, the thing is that's the debate. Is Steeler fans are going to tell you, oh, well, Tatum definitely hit it.
Yeah.
And then Raider fans are going to say, well, no way. You got to watch the play because literally Tatum perfectly, I mean, it doesn't get any closer than that play. Is Tatum hitting the wide receiver at the same time the ball comes in, and the ball just gets jettisoned right towards Franco Harris.
Right.
So that's the debate. But you see, I've watched that tape, and the crazy thing is back then there wasn't all kinds of crazy camera angles. There wasn't like 6-7 different angles you could see this. There was basically one, maybe two, but usually it was on the side of the field. That's all you got to see.
Yeah.
So that play I've watched several times over, and it's tough. I'll say from my opinion, I know I'm a Raiders fan, so Steelers fans are going to take it like a grain of salt and be like, yeah, you're full of it. But from my opinion, it looks to me like Jack Tatum comes, perfectly timed hit, right? But it looks to me like it bounces off of the wide receiver's shoulder pads and back, on that impact, and then bounces back to Franco Harris. If that is the case, that play should have never happened. And if that is, because that pretty much was the last play they had to beat the Raiders.
Yeah.
And then the Raiders go on to the Super Bowl, not the Steelers. So it was a big turning point in that game, definitely for the franchises involved. And to me, it looks like it shouldn't have happened. But again, it's hard to tell when you're only given one angle really to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, who knows? That's a glorious thing about, instant replay that we have right now. We're able to see something like that. But even now, they screwed it up so many times.
They still do.
How many bad calls happened this week even again, Joe? So many suspect ones. And for one, when we were at live at Restaurant 605, we're witnessing some of these things happen. And that, at the time, controversial touchdown call here after they reviewed it here for your Raiders even too about the foot being in or not, and they went with it. But then even what happened with the Patriots after that whole thing and that debacle and what they decided to do when it's a tie game and you just got to be able to got to sit on that thing until we'll fight into the overtime. Let's do it. But what happened after that was pretty amazing and exciting and crazy stuff here. It's just another crazy week in the NFL. But even after that, multiple games prior and after that, bad calls, even after instant replay.
12 out of 15 games, it was a one-score game this week. It was pretty insane, pretty intense. And this is kind of what the league wants, right? Like, they want close games. They want they do like high-scoring games, but they want close ones because that's what keeps fans on edge all the time. You know what I mean? Like, as a Raiders fan, it's every week for me. There's no easy week where my team can handle business and then and I don't have to really stress out towards the end. No, it's always stressful. But yeah, going back to that, like, think about how crazy this season has been. Go back to the off season. How insane were the amount of trades that happened? How impactful and how lineup changing trades there were. I mean, big time names were being traded. A.J. Brown, gets traded from the Tennessee Titans. He's going over to the Philadelphia Eagles, and he's having a phenomenal year there. And then Devontae Adams. We never thought Adams was going to end up getting traded from Green Bay. He ends up getting traded from Green Bay to go to the Raiders, and so forth. Like, there was a lot of crazy trades. There was a lot of big names moving, whether it be free agency or being traded, and that's just the offseason. Then we had the draft. Then we had, then everyone's trying to pick their favorite team to win the division, and what teams are going to be really good, what teams are going to be bad, and everyone's trying to figure that out. But what we didn't know is that this season, to me, I'm sorry, I haven't seen a season like this year as exciting every single week. Every single game has big implications, because not only were they close, but man, they were decided by a field goal. They were decided by one score. And a lot of teams kind of had to fight back and have comeback wins. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like what we've seen in recent past where, like, okay, as soon as a team has control, even if they had a touchdown lead, it was like, oh, it's pretty much going to end like this. No, not this year. This year, the NFL has given us crazy excitement with last-ditch, drives that they have to get down the football field. They got 2 minutes left. Now, can they make it? And they've had less. We've seen Tom Brady and the Buccaneers have like 45 seconds or something or less, and to be able to drive down against the Rams, and then they end up winning. Like, it's been insane. This year has been absolutely crazy, and I understand, because part of this is where we kind of get into the debate of referees, good calls, bad calls, terrible ones, right? We've seen terrible officiating this year, and it's not like it's new. Like, we see this every single season.
Yeah.
They do screw up calls, and sometimes because of how important the call is at whatever juncture the game is, it's critical in determining winner or loser. So that's the other problem that we've been still kind of, pounding the table on, but like, hey, listen, get these calls right. And if you're going to screw up, don't make them big enough problems to where they change the game or decide a winner or a loser. That's all we're saying. So, but I will say this, it's been extremely amazing so far this season. The games have been crazy. They've been close. And I can only imagine what the playoffs are going to bring.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It's been one of those years. It's all over the place, all over the map. And even you don't know who's going to win some of these times. How are they going to play? If people had talked about the Philadelphia Eagles game, when they're going to play the Bears and acting nerdy, looking towards the Micah Parsons and the Cowboys.
Bears
like,
look
you're
good.
looking at this, and they said we don't need to look ahead of that. We need to follow and look at the Bears because, again, one of those things could be a trap game, and it almost was with that game. It was pretty crazy, and it's nuts how that happens.
And you could say it was
the Jacksonville Jaguars. Too,
you could make a case that it was a kind of a trap game. Yeah, they didn't lose, but look how close that game was.
That game was closer than it should have been. But again, in the whole mix, Jalen Hurts playing with an injury, but now he's going to be sitting out this week, and you're going to see some Gardner Minshew, so maybe some Minshew mania and some magic, and show what he can do in his fill-in spot and fill-in role now for the Philadelphia Eagles. But the Jacksonville Jaguars took out. We said to it last week when we did our picks that, hey, I'm going to pick the Cowboys just because, again, it's the safer pick. But I will not be surprised if the Jacksonville Jaguars make this a close game and really put it to them. And maybe now, because again, when the media talks, they're talking to the Eagles about, again, looking forward to the Cowboys, Micah Parsons. They did the same thing with the Cowboys. Cowboys looking forward to the matchup with the Eagles, see what you can do in this division, And I think maybe the Cowboys got caught looking forward maybe at the Eagles and underestimated the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Dak Prescott, again, you look at it since he came in, and when they had Cooper Rush in there, he has made a lot of mistakes at critical times. The turnovers, he's done it before against the Giants, and now teams like here with the Jacksonville Jaguars. to keep these games close. The defense is what helps them out. They can get out of this, but not this
game.
week. But not this week. There was a lot of points scored here.
Yeah.
On this one, but then
Too
also,
many.
It's been crazy. So you never know. It's all over the place.
And you look at that game.
Yeah.
The thing that stood out to me is like this is good though for the Jaguars. Like this is showing progress.
Yeah.
You not only played a double-digit win team, a team that is going to the playoffs, but you played that team extremely well. You were able to stay in it. Defensively, you made them stall out on drives sometimes. Offensively, you put up a lot of points on what a lot of people view as a good defense. So, listen, this is good for the Jaguars. Let's see if they can keep building on this going forward for the rest of the season. And who knows, next year may be the year for Jacksonville. Maybe they can compete well enough next season. Obviously, it's depending on, if they keep doing well, like draft-wise, and maybe add a free agent or whatever if they need be. But next year, maybe they could compete for the division. So
yeah. So you never know. But we're here at my new place here. Where I'm all moved in, not settled in yet. But we've done some with the studio here to try and get it going, to put something out for you guys tonight. That's why we had a late start, but we decided to do something just because we could not just skip this week. Unfortunately, we don't have the whole Christmas setup, set up like we normally do and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know
Still
you're nice,
under
but
construction.
maybe we'll end up doing that next week after. It's a few days after Christmas. A lot of people are, having the 26th off
mood.
too because of Monday, even the holiday being on Sunday. So
We can
maybe still
combine,
be in the festive mood, and we'll get it.
New Year's and
Christmas and Festivus. Let's do it all together. Why not? But yeah, we're here checking out with you guys here. Shout out to all the sponsors. And again, I'm not going to get into a bunch of reads. I'm sorry, sponsors, but shout out to Colorize there that takes care of us, Paul Perry Kitchens and Mohawk Honda out there, especially, that all take care of us and make sure that we can do the best for you guys and make things better for you and the experience a lot more fun and better. And we're looking to heighten this experience, Joe, as we go on. Like you said earlier, we're looking to maybe add another person and a producer and change the look of the show. So we're excited for that, and excited for more YouTube subscribers on that. And Joe, there's some news about now with the NFL Sunday Ticket now possibly going here and doing a deal here with YouTube. Why don't you tell everybody about that?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because an article came out basically saying that YouTube right now is in negotiations with the NFL. And the interesting part of that is because we've already seen Amazon Prime, and now kind of Amazon paid a lot of money to get the rights to Thursday Night Football. Well, now we're seeing it with YouTube. YouTube is prepared to put a contract together to put, whatever decisions that they make internally with the meeting that they have. But they want to have the NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube. That is crazy. And that is big. Because we've already seen Amazon Prime kind of take over Thursday Night Football, and it really does suck. If you don't have Amazon Prime, like, it's like, dude, I can't even watch the Thursday night games. I got to go out and maybe find a place that has it.
Yeah.
Or know somebody and stop over at their house and watch it.
Hey, can I use your Prime account for tonight?
Yeah. But that's the crazy thing about that. Now we're kind of coming around the corner here, and we could possibly be, if you want to watch all the games, if you want to watch your team play. Now, the Sunday Ticket, it's not on DirecTV anymore. It's not available anymore, really, on cable or anything like that. Now, what's to say, now it's going to only be available on YouTube?
Yeah.
And if
YouTube Premium or whatever, the YouTube TV
and if you
Premium,
don't have YouTube TV or Premium, like you say, that's just the subscription for it. Then you got to pay for the Sunday Ticket. So I'm kind of curious, is it going to jump up higher than what cable companies were charging? Or is it going to be, because it's streamlined, because it's going to be streamed, is there going to be a little bit of a break in terms of hitting your wallet?
Yeah, who knows? I don't think they ever think of getting a break in your wallet at all for a lot of these things here. That's why they solely do this. I think one thing when you brought up the whole Amazon thing, maybe at the end of the season when they're done with the Amazon things, maybe we'll do a segment even too, and we'll grade like Amazon Prime, what you liked about it, what you didn't like, things that were about it,
Right.
and grade some of the things that happened, the analysts and stuff, because there's certain
Oh,
issues
God.
I think that are there, but I mean, there's a lot of different things I think
there's
to
a lot
dive
of ammo
into
for that.
But yeah, I mean, I knew this was going to kind of go this way. We talked about it earlier in the season and how it was going to go. I'm diehard against it. You know how I am. I'm more old school, traditional, and I dislike even paying for cable at this point. But again, trying to get onto all these different streaming services, they're trying to give you packages here and there and then bundle them all together and
Right.
stuff. But now you're reliant on having to get this one, then that one, then this one, then that one, and it's a pain when I used to just be able to just turn on my TV and watch it.
Well, you
it
still
makes
will
it
be
more of a
able to.
pain, Yeah, I know, but at my expense again.
No, you still be able to, like, the football will still be on, your local channels.
Well, yeah, I know,
and stuff
understand
like
that,
and,
but I mean that's what. But if you're saying it's on Thursday night or Monday night football, and watch Monday nights change too. That I mean, they already have ESPN.
Oh, that'll still be there.
But it's
That'll
just
still
tough.
be- all that will
Monday
still
night
be
football
there.
used to be wasn't it? It used to be on NBC. I think it was back in the day,
Years
or
and years ago.
Channel 10 or something like that, or ABC. One of those because I
NBC,
remember. Hank Williams Jr. Are you ready for some football?
That's when the best intro was.
It was awesome. Yeah, I know. Carrie Underwood, they just got to be done with that
So
too,
bad.
man. That's another thing too.
So bad.
You gotta get rid of that whole thing. But again, this is what I'm saying. A kid accessible to this and blah blah blah. But then now moving to these different streaming services, I think it's just too much for me and too much to handle.
But
and all
it's
this stuff.
only
But-
for Sunday ticket.
Yeah.
So
No,
like,
I
if
hear
you don't
you.
even get Sunday ticket, you're not going to
No,
notice
for me,
anything.
no, I'm not going.
You're not going to
either.
notice anything.
Yeah.
It's for the people that are subscribing to Sunday Ticket. That's the bigger change.
Yeah.
Now, or you find a different way to be able to watch your games. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you still have, like, obviously
I'll tell you,
NFL Plus.
Direct TV has probably really hurt the most out of this whole thing because they had that thing locked in.
But
Right?
here's the thing. Like, we've seen, streaming TV. Everyone's got Netflix and
Yeah,
Hulu
yeah,
and Disney Plus now and all these different streaming things now, subscriptions, and you'll be able to watch whatever movie you want at whatever you go
Whatever
on
you
to,
want.
right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. But we've already seen this take place with movies and TV shows. We already knew, if you're really thinking about this logically, we knew that streaming was going to be the next thing that's
level.
going to happen, the big thing.
Yeah.
Where you watch all your TV, your live TV on there, obviously TVs and movies are already part of it. But now it's going into sports and live events. Like, we're seeing it now. YouTube is getting involved with Sunday Ticket for football. But live TV now, I feel like eventually there's going to be no more cable. There's going to be no more direct TV. Like, they're going to be obsolete at some point. And it's getting close to them right now.
Yeah.
Where people don't even utilize their services. I know my parents used to have direct TV for many years. Many years. My dad would get the Sunday Ticket on direct TV and all that. Then he stopped getting the Sunday Ticket and now starts streaming. He's paying to stream and got rid of direct TV now.
Yeah.
And now he's just watching TV and movies and streaming sports, and now he's just streaming everything.
Yeah.
So there is a movement already, and if you haven't paid attention to it, like, you're not going to realize it until it's, oh crap, I got to stream stuff now.
Yeah.
But we're getting to that point, and this is just the tip of the iceberg for the Sunday Ticket.
Yeah.
Like, eventually, all live TV is going to be nothing but streaming. Like, we're not going to be able to call up the cable guy and say, yo, I'm moving. Can you hook me up at my new place? Like that's
I just
going
did.
away.
Yeah.
That's going to go away. So it's like, now it's like, do it yourself.
You just
like,
take it with you with your streaming. Just say it's the internet provider. That's what it is. What it is. Yeah, it's nuts. But who knows? That's big for YouTube. You can see how much they've been building as they go and stuff. But something interesting, and maybe that's something even big for us YouTubers that are on YouTube. If people are getting to YouTube, not that they haven't been there already. I mean, that's one of the biggest.
Speaking of which,
people are always on there.
Speaking of which, listen, if you've just chimed in, if you're new to the show, do us a huge favor. Comment down below, let you know you're alive, so then we can say hi to you
#KnowItAll.
guys. But all jokes aside, we really would appreciate it if you could help us build up our football community over on YouTube. Be a huge help. Help us with the algorithm and get more noticed by other people. Search us up, Football on the Nose Show. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell, let you guys know when we go live. And as well, you can also always join us as well on Facebook. Become a member, become a nodal on there. And anywhere you get your podcasts. That's right. You can even take us with you on the go.
Yep. That's
Football
the whole point.
on the know.
Boom.
We're also on the go. You didn't really know, but now you know. So anywhere you get your podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, you name it, we're there. And we're also on, I know not a lot of people know this, but Spotify, there is a Spotify video. So our shows are also on Spotify video. If you want to go check it out, give us a follow. If you really enjoy our show and you want to become more interactive, swing over to YouTube, subscribe to us, comment down below, ask us any questions, anything that you might want to get off your chest. If something's bothering you, anything that you want to boast about, that's what we're here for. Drop it down in the comment section below, and let's go.
Let's go. Absolutely. So, yeah, we're doing our check here for the new studio. Again, I did have
different
audio. I forgot to do the whole thing with the mics and stuff, so because we had to change the line in. So we did have audio out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Greg let us know out there, so shout out to Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Greg, for letting us know.
And it made me fix that. So it's all set up now. Now you guys can hear us loud and clear.
Excellent.
But, yeah, we're going to work through this and stuff, and we're doing it for you. But we got to get into the picks, Joe. I don't have the stats up here for the picks, but I know I gained one more game there to come back, and now I'm only one game down on you still here. But it's a tight race. It's really close. It's exciting. This is a crazy season where it's been up and down all over the place.
Always crazy.
But we're ready to roll into it. Let's just go right to the picks. And some of these games, again, I'm very conflicted on some. Like we'll get to the Sunday night game in a little while. But the Jags now and the Jets on Thursday. I think maybe the play of the Jets, the way they've been in the last couple weeks, the way they've been playing hard with the defense, but then even the quarterback play of Mike White and stuff. But now you had Zach Wilson coming in there last week and still just, could not muster a win, but playing fairly well in close games. And now the Jags and what they've been doing the last couple weeks, maybe that makes this Thursday night game a little more intriguing to everybody out here to kind of watch this one.
I'll say intriguing. But here's the thing: is we have to monitor injuries right now.
Yeah, I know.
Because Trevor Lawrence is questionable to go. Okay, it's tomorrow night, so they're gonna have to deem him active and active. It might be a game time decision. Yeah. So that makes it even harder for us to pick this game.
Yeah.
But Cam Robinson is now out for the year. He shut down their tackle. Juwan Taylor's questionable for the game. The other tackle, Brandon Scherf, the guard. There's a lot of problem here on offensively, especially. Travon Walker, they've already listed as out. The young stud of a rookie for them, really playing well this year. He's deemed as out for tomorrow night's game. Beyond that, and then we look at the Jets. Jets have gone through some different, different situations with utilizing Mike White when he came in. Zach Wilson ends up getting basically canned from the starting job, even though he was a little banged up, but that's kind of what they used as an excuse. He ends up getting demoted, not only to backup role, but they put him at third string. Initially
all the way to third.
And I understand why, because it's almost like you had to put him in check for what he said at the press conference. You cannot, and this goes for any position. I don't care if you're quarterback or whatever. You can't throw your own players under the bus.
Yeah,
he threw his own defense under the bus, and that right there, you lose a ton of you lose all respect.
Absolutely.
Now you know
you don't take any of the blame, and with the quarterback, a lot of times they take most of the blame.
And you're not considered a captain anymore. You're not considered a leader anymore. You're done. So they've kind of put him on the back burner. Mike White comes in. It's Mike White fiasco. Everyone loves Mike White. He's amazing. He won one game and lost a game. Had crazy passing yards, but two different games tell two different stories. Wasn't able to get in the end zone with them against the Vikings. You know what I mean? But his first game that he quarterbacked was crazy, insane. It was over 300 passing yards. It was 3 touchdowns. It was nuts. So for the Jets tomorrow night, it's going to be interesting because Zach Wilson now is back in the fold because of injury to Mike White.
Yep.
This is a team that is still on the cusp of possibly making the playoffs. Can they make the playoffs? They got a rough road because of bouncing back and forth with quarterbacks doesn't work. We already know that. So for them, we already know that Mike White obviously is not going to be playing. We know that Denzel Mims is out as well. Quinnen Williams is questionable. That's a big injury right there. He was out last week, might be out tomorrow night. But that being said, this is a team that's kind of gone through a little bit of turmoil in terms of injuries. Like they just, it seems like they constantly are getting more and more injured every single week. Zach Wilson, he played okay, you know what I mean, last week, but he could have done a little more. And that, I guess that's kind of the spot where Jets fans are right now. Is like that's why they like Mike White, because he's consistent. He doesn't force bad decisions and makes the play, but they're two different. We talked about this off air. They're two different quarterbacks. Like Zach Wilson, he's won more games, but he's not as consistent as Mike White is.
Right.
But Mike White is the ruling is still out on him. So for me in this game, even though Trevon Walker is out, I don't know. This is the okay. I'll have to say this.
Yeah.
Because of the uncertainty of Trevor Lawrence, because of the uncertainty of these other offensive linemen that they have, I'm going to go with the Jets in this one.
All right. Joe's going for the Jets in this one.
I just don't like the fact that tomorrow night, you got till tomorrow night to deem these guys active or inactive, and Trevor Lawrence, your quarterback, and two linemen might likely be out.
Who's the backup quarterback for them again in the Jags? I'm trying to remember.
It's not Gardner Minshew anymore.
It's not Gardner Minshew anymore. That's right. I can't even recall, man. It's been so long since we actually had to look at that. But yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I think if how about if Trevor Lawrence does not start, then I'll ride with the Jets. But if he does, I'm going to go with the Jags on this one.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, are you going to do the same thing? You're agreeing? Okay, we'll just do that.
But if we were just picking. That's why I'd be precautionary. I would just pick
absolutely.
The Jets.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay, next we've got for Saturday games here. Moving on, we got the Falcons and the Ravens here. Ravens.
Oh, Jesus.
We're struggling again with the injuries that they've had too. With Lamar Jackson, and you see the difference when he's not in there. But the Falcons Falcons actually looked fairly good. At times, with Ritter in there. For some things, keeping it a game, but it was still not very good game. But I think still either way, if you look at overall a grouping of the teams and how they are in quality, I think I'm just going to have to ride with the Ravens here at home on this one.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's the Ravens.
Yep.
I mean, I saw enough from Ritter to tell me that he is definitely not even close to being ready. And this is the crazy thing, right? I got to bring this up because the Atlanta Falcons and Arthur Smith, as much as I complain about Arthur Smith's play calling, right? And I feel like that's what held the offense back for the Falcons to win more games. But why would you make the decision to and I understand they're saying he's injured. That's kind of what they're going with, but it seems awfully funny how all of a sudden he's injured, Mariota, and they push Ritter when they're in a playoff race.
Yeah.
It's even seemed.
Yeah, because Tampa Bay's not exactly just pulling away from anybody.
No,
they're
not at all. Not at all. Like
you know
that,
what I'm saying?
to me,
it's like Atlanta already conceded.
Right. That's what's perplexing to me. Like, if he's legit injured and can't go, okay.
Yeah.
But it just seemed really weird how they were doing well. They lost the week prior, and they're like, oh, no, Mariota's done. But Mariota's like, I might not even come back now.
Yeah.
Why would I come back to a team if you're already going to move on from me? So I don't know. It just seems a little odd to me.
All right, next up we got the Lions and the Panthers. Lions red hot on fire right now. Again, that's the team to watch.
Where's that game? Is that Carolina?
Carolina.
Okay.
The Panthers again fumbled on us here. I was hoping they could get that victory last week, but couldn't get it done. The Lions on fire. I think this is gonna be a closer game than expected. Just even because. If you want to say that just by Lions, the way they've been playing. But I still think the Lions have grit. They have the right type of momentum right now. You got to win towards the end here. They are looking towards something, especially with how Green Bay has kind of fumbled this season too. I like the Lions in this one.
All right. And the cool thing is the Lions were below 500 for all season long. Yeah. And now they're hitting on all cylinders. They're playing great defense to go with their offense, and you're seeing now all of a sudden they're 500. They're right there in the thick of things in the NFC. Detroit's playing who again?
The Panthers.
Carolina Panthers in Carolina. I'm a little disappointed in Carolina as of last week. I thought for sure that Sam Darnold and the offense was going to be able to do enough to win that to win that game. Sadly, they were disappointing. I'll tell you right now, the offensive line was terrible for Carolina. They looked absolutely putrid, and defensively, I didn't see blitzing. Carolina's known for their blitzing defense or aggressive defense. I didn't see much of that at all last week. So they were kind of a little out of sorts, and it looked it. So now, again, it's another home game. You know, can they get their bearings? I don't know. I really like what Detroit's doing. They got a lot of momentum, so I think I'm going to ride with Detroit right now.
All right. Yeah, it's like, so you can't deny it sometimes. You know, you're watching it, see how they're really gelling and playing together.
I'm just going. I'm basing it off because we all know it's week to week in the NFL. We all know things can change and everything, but momentum is a big factor. Momentum is a big deal. So Detroit has the most momentum out of the two teams, and Carolina's, for some reason, stumbling right now.
Yeah. All right, next we got the Bills at the Bears here, Joe. Bears, had a good showing against the Eagles. Now they have to
Bears
face off against the Buffalo Bills, who again look like they were struggling a little bit dealing with those injuries and stuff, but luckily they had depth. But now it seems like they've kind of got things back together, straightened out the wagon, and now they're rolling along again. So, but the Bears, they're always tough to play at home, but I'm going to ride with the Bills on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bills as well. Bills are healthier too now. Like Ed Oliver is back at practice, Matt Milano. Josh Allen, I'm surprised. Like that elbow injury that he got initially, like a few weeks back. Yeah. I was kind of worried about that over time. Like, was he going to be able to cope with it and continue to throw the football and not re-injure it or make it worse? And surprisingly, I think the Bills team, coaches, the medical staff, I think they've done a phenomenal job actually of allowing him to be able to play, but also kind of healing it as they go type of deal. So I'm amazed by that. So for the Bills to me, they got to win. To me, there's no contest against Chicago, a team that is greatly injured as of last week. Their offensive linemen are falling like flies, and that just means Justin Fields is going to have to run the ball more.
All right, there you go. Next, we got the Saints at the Browns. Browns edged out the Ravens in that last win. Again, this team, the Saints are tough. They're an up-and-down type of team, with what they're dealing with. Do they pull the trigger and go to Jameis Winston on this one finally after this, because well, what do you got here? Saints fans are just, up and down, they don't know what to do with themselves. They're sitting there yelling at the TV, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?
Right.
Dalton's still the same, he stinks. And let's see what he even got out of Jameis Winston again with a full season. The guy hasn't having a full season there at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's tough to gauge those guys. But the Browns, I think now that they're getting Deshaun Watson in, they're finally getting a chance to see. I'm trying to blend together and meld together and see what this offense is supposed to be looking like, or was supposed to look like this season with him in there. Greg Schreiner's in the house with us.
What's up, Greg?
He says Josh Allen won Offensive Player of the Week last week, 10th time since 2018, most in the NFL during that time. There you go.
Nice. There you go.
He's looking for the MVP. He thinks he's going to get voted MVP on this one.
Greg's not a Bills fan at all.
No. I don't see that at all. I don't get it. But he likes Josh Allen enough.
No, I mean, of course. Why wouldn't you?
Oh, boy. But, yeah, all right. So, Saints and Browns, this is a tough one to pick. But, again, like I said, I think, you're seeing the offense of the Cleveland Browns trying to roll together here with Deshaun Watson. I'm going to roll with them. Better quarterback. I like the Browns in this one.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of the Browns right now. I mean, they're 6-8.
It's tough.
Deshaun Watson is still trying to get back to form, and we know he's getting better. Don't get me wrong; he's getting better especially from his debut. That was terrible.
Yeah,
to not be able to throw a touchdown on offense, your offense didn't score.
Yeah.
It was like your defense had to win. But that being said, like the Saints are healthier now. The Saints are getting healthy. They got Lattimore back now. They got Adam Troutman, the tight end, back now. They have a lot of pieces back now. And I feel like because the Saints now are healthier, and to your point too, like I've been waiting for Winston to get the nod to go in and be the starter once again. because I'd like to see what he can do. We already know what Dalton is capable of.
Yeah, he's a veteran.
He's limited.
Why is this veteran staying there?
He's limited. It's that simple. Like he has limitations that display every single week. And I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I'm just saying that I believe that for the Saints right now, I believe Winston is the better quarterback to put out there. But hopefully they do that this week. I don't know if they will, but I'm going to go with the Saints on this one.
All right, here we go.
I just like how healthy they are. I'm a little concerned right now for Nick Chubb. Hasn't practiced as of yet this week. And not to say that, Kareem Hunt can't foot the bill and be all right. But I'm just saying, like, there's some injuries on the offense that kind of, I don't know. Not feeling
all right, next we've got the Seahawks and the Chiefs. Chiefs again in a trap game of their own, I guess. Either two. Looked at those Texans. Those Texans, they fight hard, man, sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
They had the game.
Yeah, they were there. Again, it's like I said, it's like the switch goes off, and then all of a sudden, like, no, we're playing hard. We're not supposed to win these games. You know, like they did it against the Cowboys just a week before and stuff. It's nuts, and they're really it's a dogfight in every game that they're in, but then they just lose. So really trying to get that number one pick and lock it in. It's got to be locked in at this point, right? You figure it's yeah.
They got a 2-game lead. I think the Broncos are second.
Yeah. Yeah, they got to be somewhere around there. Yeah. But Seahawks, again, they're a good story for Geno Smith, and the way they've been playing. I think they're a bit of a pleasant surprise. But the Chiefs at home, they're tough to beat. Yeah. I don't think the Seahawks are going to upset the Chiefs in this one. I'm going to go with the Chiefs in this one. Shout out to Nathaniel McWhirter.
Oh, hey!
Too, on YouTube.
There he is. What's going on, Nate?
Nathaniel, what's going on, buddy? We are here in the newer studio. I just moved, so we're not
newish
set up yet. We're going to be getting it going and stuff, but we decided to go live anyways and say hi and talk a little bit here, do some picks. So join in with us, buddy.
Definitely.
Yeah, so what do you got? You got the Seahawks or Chiefs? Not much to discuss in this one, but
not a whole lot. Like, and this is the other thing too, is like for Seattle, like this is not the team that started on fire. Mm-hmm. Like we're noticing now the last couple of weeks, the Seattle Seahawks are not what they were earlier in the year, and they're not performing and executing as well. Yeah. They're still doing a little bit, like you see, bits and pieces of that offense coming together. You see bits and pieces of the defense showing up, but again, they're not the healthiest team either. Like we've seen Kenneth Walker III in and out of the lineup week to week. I don't know, like so far he hasn't practiced this week. So is that any indication of him not playing? And if so, that's another big weapon that they miss out on. Overall, I think this team it's kind of going on a downward spiral right now. At this point in the season for Seattle, they're losing a lot more games, and I think it might continue this week because not only do you have to travel to Kansas City, but Kansas City is one of the hardest places to play, and seeing how Kansas City is playing, they're playing, they're hitting on all cylinders, they're executing. Patrick Mahomes, even when the play's broken down, I feel like that's what makes Mahomes. Yeah, is that even when the play breaks down, that's when he's better. He just makes something happen. Right. Like it could be an oddball throw that you see or something to a wide open player. And I
think it's his best ability, but it's also his biggest. I had a great phrase all lined up for that, but but it's also his Achilles heel, I think, at the same time too. Because in these last couple of weeks, you've kind of seen him kind of do some of those different kind of throws because he trusts in his ability, and they end up turning into turnovers, and you're kind of like, he should have already known that. Maybe he shouldn't have done that, but he trusts in his ability enough too. When plays are broken down, he could just go whoop and then bang, But
I would also say that Mahomes at times needs that to be successful. Because when he's asked to just be like in the pocket,
it's a double-edged knife
and throw, sometimes the throws aren't right there. They're overthrown or they're not on target. So we'll see what Mahomes and company can do this week.
Nate the Great, he says, I think this might be an overtime match. Chiefs gave up way too many points the last 2 weeks. However, I still have the Chiefs in this one. So
it's tough to pick against them, especially in Kansas City. And You got Seattle traveling all the way from West Coast to Kansas City.
All right, next up we got the Bengals and the Patriots, Joe. Patriots look like they're ready to fight each other in this one, and then Mac Jones, I've never seen him so angry, but that's when he makes mistakes, though. You know what I'm saying? He looks like one of those calm, collect dudes or whatever. But
he fired up.
But he gets fired up.
He's fired up.
He's like Tom Brady 2.0 almost out there, ready to say, let's go some more. Yeah, that offense spitting and sputtering, not doing very well, and then that play, if that was a design play at the end of that game,
it wasn't.
I was going to say, because that was
no. That was all Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, well,
that
then
was
also, Stevenson was the one that pitched it about
He pitched
first,
it, but that wasn't the play. There was no play for pitching it around.
Yeah.
Stevenson tried to keep the play going and give it to Myers, but Myers ran directly backwards. I still, when you watch that play, I still don't understand where he thought he was throwing it, because it wasn't to Mac Jones.
No.
He threw it 5 yards or 4 yards in front of Mac Jones, where Chandler Jones happened to be. So even if he was trying to make a play, like, you didn't even throw it to who you were trying to.
Yeah, and even if you're there, the guy's there, just take the tackle. You're like, there's nothing there. Going to overtime. It's overtime it's going to be.
That play that everybody has talked about all week this week is what's uncanny is that it's a Bill Belichick team. You don't see mistakes like that made by Bill Belichick's players. And for Jacoby Myers I tried to be a hero is what he said in the locker room. It's like he did own it. He said, it's all my fault. But, dude, it's I could understand if the Raiders had a lead. They had a field goal or something. You're trying to make something happen.
Yeah, make it happen.
That makes
you're
sense.
on desperation.
But it's tied.
Yeah.
Just get out of bounds and go overtime.
Just go. Take it down. Yep. But that being said, with the Patriots, like I said, I think there's some turmoil there. Bengals, they're riding on all cylinders like we've been talking about here too, making a good push. Now's the time. I like the Bengals in this one, and Nathaniel, Nate, he says the same thing.
And I also like the Bengals.
Boom.
Because,
I like it.
Again, the momentum thing. Bengals have been killing it lately. Joe Burrow has all his weapons. Everything's great in Cincinnati. So look for the Bengals to continue their winning ways against a team that still doesn't have an offensive coordinator.
This could be a close one here. Texans and Titans, the way the Texans have been playing tight with these games here. But
you're darn right.
Titans, they need something. But Ryan Tannehill going down, that's a major thing for this team at this point
likely done for the year
season here. So that's big. We got Tom Leiter in the house.
Oh, there's Tom. What's up, Tom?
Tom's there with us.
Welcome to the show, bro.
Absolutely. We're getting through here.
A lackluster show.
Yeah, I know. We're here.
We just threw tables together, try to get everything going.
Yeah, but the lighting is good. I like it though. So Nate, he's calling with the upset Texans here on this one, Joe. What do you think in this one? It could be. I mean, but maybe we'll see something a little more of Malik Willis. We've got the Titans are home.
Titans are home. Here's the interesting thing is, who's going to quarterback? Malik Willis.
Mm-hmm.
The last time we saw Malik quarterback, he definitely needs further development. We already knew that.
Mm-hmm.
But they got a taste of what he could do. Great with his legs.
Yeah.
I say if you're Tennessee, to win this game, you don't ask too much of Malik. Utilize his legs, utilize, RPOs, you know what I mean? Make easy throws, you know what I mean? Like, you can win this game as the Titans, but he's got to be smart with the ball, and he's made some bad decisions when he got playing time. So, and this is a Texans team coming off of
two back-to-back
dismal
losses,
loss.
They were there.
They had the game in hand, and a dismal loss. So, I'm going to go with the Texans too. I think I like Malik Willis. I just would like to see what he can become like two years down the road. Mm-hmm. He's not ready right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is a close one for me again, but Titans at home, and Malik Willis, he does add a little bit of difference for here, but again, I just the Texans, I'm not really afraid of their defense that much. Some other guys are stepping up, but mainly it's Jerry Hughes. I'm going to go with the Titans on this one. maybe I can gain a game on you this one and come back. Who knows? We'll see. Or else I'm just going to go
Not
down
likely.
further in the basement. We'll see what happens. All right, next we've got the Commanders at the 49ers. Commanders, a tough loss there at home, but, many, again, complaining about the officials in the end of that game too, Joe. As a Giants fan, I'm not going to complain at this point.
I got to complain. That definitely was pass interference. 110%. Like, there's no debating that. Like, how is that not called?
Yeah.
I could not believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it happen in Raider games, obviously, whatever.
Yeah.
But I know it happens in other games. And for the referees that are all around the end zone, it's not like one dude is there and he's distracted and watching something else.
Yeah.
Like, there's like 4 referees are surrounding that end zone.
Yeah.
And for nobody to throw the flag, like, that play went longer than it showed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the guy was constantly grabbing him and pulling him and tugging him. And then all of a sudden the ball comes and then he jumps and hits him and then tries to hit the ball. Like, there's way too much bumping going on and pushing and grabbing. Like, something's got to give. Somebody had to throw the flag. Even all 4 referees should have thrown the flag. Like, that was so blatant. It's crazy.
Yeah. Again, in some of these things that are happening, I mean, if you want to bring it up right here, I'll just bring it up.
Let's bring it up.
The that Patriots Vegas game, that went from the Patriots and the under going instantly to the Raiders and the over. So whatever you put, so that swayed Vegas just like that. Within under a minute or 2 minutes, just around that time, bang, it just went from that to that.
Freak play.
And again, officials involved in the one score. If they don't get that score, I think your team, the Vegas, Raiders are maybe, not going to maybe get it there. You know what I'm saying? It just, they're deflated, not coming back into this game. Same thing on this one. If Washington gets that, you know what I mean? That brings them right there to go on and win, and that's playoff implications too as well. So. Ever since they did the sports gambling and then joining in with these organizations like DraftKings and all those other ones, I've just been really worried about the way the officiating.
I don't think that has any
is.
bearing on it.
But overall, so what do you got? I still like the 49ers in this one, even with Brock Purdy, what they've been doing here with these guys and still filling in a guy in here. I think the 49ers defense is well enough here to still take care of the Commanders here and Heineke.
Tom Leiter just chimed in. He said, if you can't overcome one bad call, you don't deserve to win the game.
If you don't have time at the end of the game to combat it.
I kind of disagree with that. Like, if it's a bad call that determines the outcome of the game or could determine the outcome of the game, that does matter. I've seen it a ton of times where one bad call literally decided the fate of the team. So, yes and no. I mean, you could say bad call like, oh, that holding call was bad, and you should overcome a holding call and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, I get it. But like when it's a call that's made in a crucial situation, could be a scoring opportunity, could be for a score, and whether the call should have been made or not determines the outcome of who wins. Yeah, that's a big deal. That shouldn't be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, here we go. So who do you got this one? The 49ers or Commanders?
Oh, 49ers all day.
There you go.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, guy. One of the best defenses in the league. I mean, if not the best. I mean, and they're getting healthier.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you've seen how well they've been able to play with Brock Purdy as a quarterback. And Jimmy Garoppolo is close to coming back, but obviously I have a good feeling that they're just going to hold him out because, hey, Purdy's doing the job.
Right, it's getting it done. Absolutely. This game now I think should have got flexed to the Sunday night, because Sunday nights isn't very good. But Eagles-Cowboys, they've been talking about, the media has been talking about this for the last couple of weeks here. We're finally going to see it.
It's not exciting anymore.
But yeah, it's not because, again, you don't get to see the full team again because Jalen Hurts isn't going to be there. You've got Gardner Minshew here. Cowboys, I think you're going to see the same thing. Dak Prescott turning the ball over, and this is going to be a close game. Mm-hmm. So just because Minshew's in there, I'm still not exactly sold on that whole thing still. And Cowboys being at home, they play hard. I say the Cowboys go away with this one because even the Eagles, they're already locked in. They don't care at this point. So I think they don't mind letting one slide here.
Did they lock in the number one spot?
Not the number one, I think.
Yeah,
but they've got the division locked in. So, but we'll see. But I like the Cowboys in this one. Nathaniel says, this one's a toss-up. I love the weapons on the 49ers when he's talking about that pass game. However, I think this is the best defense that the 49ers have faced. I think this will be close, but I got the 49ers too as well. So,
Excellent.
all right, what about you, Joe, here with the Eagles-Cowboys? Minshew mania? Is he going to go? Are they going to run the ball a lot? What do you got? I'm worried about that. Because, again,
I'll tell you right now.
Trayvon Diggs going to be...
Stop with Trayvon.
I know. I'm just saying he's going to be watching. You know what I mean?
He can watch all he wants.
Bite all on, and then they can get him.
Yeah, that's how they get him.
And, an A.J. Brown
double
action.
moves.
Yep.
Double moves.
Yep.
Tom Leiter goes, Minshew, Washington State. Enough said.
Boom. There you go.
Tom, I love you. You're awesome.
No, Jalen Hurts. It doesn't matter. I have Eagles.
Yeah.
It says,
I'm going to go with the same way. I'm going to Eagles because that defense is really good too. And not to mention, like, if you're missing Hurts, Minshew's a more than capable guy to come in and start and run your team. So I like Minshew, and he's got running ability just like Hurts does. Not fast, not as fast as Hurts, but he can move. We've seen it. So, yeah, I'm going with the Eagles against the Cowboys.
All right, here we go. We've got the Raiders and the Steelers. Steelers pulled out a win last week. Raiders, again, a crazy victory here. This is going to be a tough game against the silver and black and the gold and black here, Joe. Steelers are at home. Who do you got in this one?
See, this game is kind of, to me, this is a trap game. Mm-hmm. This is the epitome of a trap game for the Raiders. Because, and I don't know, it could be coincidence, but, they were going to celebrate the Immaculate Reception, the 50 years of the Immaculate Reception at the stadium, this big, huge ordeal. Franco Harris was going to be there. Sadly, he abruptly passes, and now it's going to be an even bigger ordeal because this is going to be a game for the Steelers to remember Franco Harris. Listen, the players, the coaches, everybody is going to come hell or high water, going to want to win this game. For Franco, you know what I mean? So it's going to be a very emotional type of game, I feel like, and because of that, as well as the Raiders traveling to Pittsburgh, I feel like that's another kind of big problem for the Raiders. I don't know if they're going to be able to overcome all these issues, and let's say what it is too is they got to contend with T.J. Watt. They got to figure out a way to try to shut down or double team T.J. Watt to kind of keep him under wraps. And if the Raiders can do that and fight Josh McDaniels, because Josh McDaniels literally holds this offense back. If somehow, some way they can be more aggressive on offense and stay aggressive. That's been their one big problem is staying aggressive and keep scoring.
Yeah, and how about guys don't run the routes right in the same vicinity? How about that? Remember that when, what was it? Was it Waller right there?
That was in the
right
beginning of the season. Yeah,
I'm just saying, it was not in the last game. They were just right there, remember? Because Derek Carr threw it, and then he crossed, and they were right in front of each other. It looked like it was going to go to Devontae Adams, and then Waller got in front of it and snagged it or knocked it down or something. Yeah, it just happened in the last game against the Patriots.
No, the pass was supposed to go to Adams. And Waller tried to catch it. It just got deflected that way.
Tom Leiter says the Steelers win for Franco. There you go. Nate says back when we missed the Jags and the Jets, he says he's got the Jags. And also it says another toss-up game, but he has the Steelers here for this one, Joe. So you're going with the Steelers?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Steelers. I just think there's a lot going up against the Raiders on this one, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to overcome it all.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on this one too. I like that too with the emotion that's behind it. Packers and
but
Dolphins.
I will be
next
extremely happy if they pull off a win, just like you.
How about that? Yeah, exactly. You plan for the worst, but you accept it if it happens, right? Packers and the Dolphins here, Joe. Dolphins at home. Been playing some tough matchups here, but not being able to get out those wins. So now they're kind of sliding here in this playoff picture. But the AFC East too has been struggling. Patriots started struggling too as well. Jets can't get a win either. So they haven't really lost a lot of ground, at least in the division. But that playoff picture is getting a lot crazier because some of those other AFC teams are fighting hard for that spot.
Absolutely. And the other thing too to monitor is that the Dolphins still don't have Teron Armstead. He is still missing out of the lineup, still not practicing. Javon Holland, too, their starting safety, their young stud of a safety that they got going, playing extremely well, but he also hasn't practiced yet. I wonder how that's going to all shake out. Those are two big players that you need on the field. And for the Dolphins, too, they're another team that's kind of like Seattle, has kind of faltered the last couple of weeks, not being able to put it all together. Hey, they played the Niners pretty tough, but then still gave it up. But it seems like they're not being able to find their winning ways like they once had. So I like the Dolphins, but I think I'm going to go Green Bay. I think I'm going to go Green Bay. I do like Tyreek Hill. I do like Jalen Waddle and all that, but I think Green Bay just keeps scoring points and staying ahead of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear what you're saying there too. And you know what? That formula of what they did last week was really what we've been already asking them to try and do.
Yeah,
run the ball
exactly.
more. They even not only used both running backs, they used their third running back too as well. Keeping it safe when you have the issues that you do on the offense with the receivers and what's going on. I still Christian Watson and Aaron Rodgers still not on the same page when he's making a signal and Christian didn't see it. Threw it behind him late in the game. Luckily, they already had it kind of locked in, but that brought that to a fourth down play when they could have just, again, sealed it then. Luckily, they get the first down after, but things like that. But, yeah, when you can have that strong running game with these guys in there, they've kind of got to be your bread and butter and your feature guys right now. I'm going to go with the Packers on this one.
Is this in Green Bay?
It's going to be in Miami.
Oh, it's in Miami.
Are you going to change up because you think they're going to be hot, sweating?
Green Bay going from the ice cold to a little warmer temperatures. I don't know.
Well, we'll see. We got the Broncos and the Rams, Joe.
I might come back to that.
Okay. Broncos and Rams. Rams at home.
Oh, Jesus.
They're mathematically out of it. The Broncos are out of it. I think they're just going to chill and have a barbecue or something like there in L.A. What do you think? I mean,
this is an actual
They
game?
start to get worse. These are the
my
worst.
God.
The tail end of these games are the last worst ones. That's why I don't know why they didn't flex some of these games out.
Oh, my God.
They wanted America's game of the week to be, obviously, Eagles-Cowboys, but you should have flexed it for Sunday night.
Jesus.
And
at this point,
Monday nights is not very
what's
good.
interesting about the Rams? At this point, is Aaron Donald going to play the rest of the season?
No.
He didn't practice again. Like,
no point.
why don't you just shut him down? Let him go retire.
Yeah.
Just it might be time to just let it go.
Yeah.
Not to mention, it doesn't seem like they're getting any healthier. They lose another big wide receiver threat in Ben Skowronek. He didn't practice as of late. What we got? Nathaniel chimed in?
Nate says, I think about the last game here with the Dolphins. He says, I think this is more of an offensive game. I love Miami's offense and hate their defense. I have the Dolphins. Tom Leiter says they both suck equally. Could be a good game, Rams. But when does that ever equal? Is that like two negatives equal a positive or something? That's what he's going at?
Something like that.
Man.
And in Denver, like, we don't know who's quarterbacking.
Don't be rude.
Honestly, we don't know if Russell Wilson is going to quarterback or whatnot. This decision still hasn't been made.
No,
he's not on the injury report.
Rippin?
He's not. He's not. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
He's not on the injury report right now. But who knows? I mean, what's the point?
He's going to bag it in at this one too, right? He's probably just going to I'm just going to chill. I'm on vacation too, whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is a bad one. Rams, it's Broncos. I don't know, man. This is a toss-up. Tom went with Rams.
I don't know, dude.
This sucks.
Honestly,
I don't want either of them.
Here's the crazy thing about this game, okay? Because the Rams have faltered big time, right?
Yeah.
And now, okay, they got Baker Mayfield, and everyone's excited about Baker, and he did okay last week. He got a little bit better, and he did okay.
Yeah.
But this is a Rams team that has dramatically changed defensively, is not even as good as they once were. I understand Donald's not playing, but still, look at this team and what they've been able to. They can't stop the pass. When a team wants to pass, they can't stop it. When the running game is going, they can't stop that either. So what's to say about them? And then you look at Denver. Denver has a very strong defense. Defense wins games. So I think despite who's going to be at quarterback, I think the defense can make up the difference against the Rams.
Man, but can you trust Rippin? Man, this is tough.
I don't know who's quarterbacking.
Tom Leiter says Super Bowl champion Rams. I'm going to just go with it, and I think, man.
I honestly think.
What does Nate say? Call me crazy. He goes, I honestly think that depends on who starts for Denver. If Russ starts, then I think they will lose. If Rippin starts, I think they win. Intriguing.
Dun, dun.
Yeah, I know, right? I just wanted to do it. Right, there it is. Like,
It's funny.
wow, we've got it all over the place now.
I'm
Joe,
going
so-
Denver.
Yeah,
Going Denver.
man. Damn it.
Where is it? In LA or Denver?
L.A., but that really doesn't matter either, though. But again, do I trust Baker Mayfield to beat these guys? I'm gonna go with Denver too. Why not? What the hell? Let's do it. All right, Sunday night's game, Bucks and Cards. It's terrible, like I said. But this
Come on,
maybe
NFL.
this Cardinal team is the team maybe for Tom Brady to not turn the ball over as much as he has
Or he
recently. But again, now you notice. He hasn't had this narrative around him his whole career. But you notice when you don't have an offensive line, even if you have weapons, you don't have time.
No.
You create turnovers. And this is what Tom Brady we're trying to see. It's not even that he's tailed off so much because he's 45 or whatever and stuff, but he's not getting time. He's not getting able to get the ball out, and he's making crucial mistakes that are killing them in the game.
This is a problem. This is a problem.
What's the problem?
Where's the game being played?
Arizona.
This is a problem. There's no Kyler Murray. There's no Colt McCoy.
Yeah.
He's
That's what I'm saying.
already
It's prime
concussion
for him to win. Yeah.
He had a concussion,
Yeah.
so he's out. He's not going to be able to pass the protocol. So they've already listed him out.
Yeah.
Who's the? I gotta look this
Yeah,
up.
we had to
Who's
look
the
up the
third
and
string?
I can't remember who they grabbed. I know it's somebody we know too, but it's just been so long
I gotta look
since
this
I've
up.
looked at it. But man,
Going into the
I can
depth
remember,
charts here right
but
now.
either way, the Bucks again, they've been on a skid. This is a perfect type of game here for them to pull through. And I think they only kept this game here just because Tom Brady's in it. That's the little bit of stardom that they have in this one.
Right.
Tom Leiter says never bet against Brady. Nate says Bucks is out of question, but it feels weird asking that. Trace McSorley, there you go.
All right.
That's right. Yeah, I should know that.
I kind of like Trace.
But I don't think it's enough. I think this is the bounce back game finally for the Bucks to do something here in a terrible division here. So I like the Buccaneers. Just go with it, Joe. You're gonna pick Trace McSorley and the Cardinals on this one.
I don't know, man. I just don't like. I really what I don't like is the fact that they still don't have a healthy offensive line.
I know.
I mean, that's really
a lot
what
of teams don't have healthy.
No,
offensive
but this
lines,
is a big deal for, especially if you got your third string quarterback. You're gonna need some protection there.
I know. So it's got to be obvious then. So who are you going with?
God, I hate Brady. I'll go Tampa.
All right.
Why
There you go. I
not?
was gonna say I was just about to hit the Jeopardy on you.
You can hit it,
All
but
right,
if they win, I don't want to hear nothing.
There you go. All right, the Chargers now and the Colts here for Monday night. Colts, I don't know, man. Now they're switching from Matt Ryan again. So
Yeah, I know.
yeah, it's all over. It's a debacle either way.
They're
whether
going with
Jeff
Nick
Saturday,
Foles.
whether no Nick Foles. Yeah, he's a Super Bowl champion.
He is a
You
Super
know?
Bowl champion,
That is
and
true.
he knows how to
Matt
run an
Ryan
offense.
is not.
I'm kind of.
But Jonathan Taylor down. That's big for them too. So
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, they can overcome that. That's not like something like, oh, Jonathan Taylor's up. There's no
Yeah.
offense. But what's kind of surprising to me is that they've been able to find ways offensively to make it work. You know what I mean? Like Michael Pittman Jr. He gets taken out of a game if he gets double teamed, whatever the defense does. And it's like they're finding these younger guys to step up and make plays and being able to open up the offense a little bit more. So maybe the Jonathan Taylor thing is kind of helping open up the playbook a little bit more. So I think with a guy like Nick Foles, who knows? Maybe they can drum something up.
Yeah. But so I don't know. In this one. But you know what? The Colts last week again. Matt Ryan made history again of giving up the most points. On the comeback here, in a Super Bowl and now in a regular season game. We were listening as we were moving. Joe helped me move this weekend, and we were listening to this game. And on the phone and stuff. Cody was there, and we're just like, "Wow, Vikings! What the hell are they doing? They were getting demolished, 33-0 at halftime, and only the Colts." Only the Colts to come back, let them back into the
How did
game,
that work?
tie it up, and they lose in Colt fashion
my
in overtime.
God.
And that shows you right there. I'm just not ready. But then now that they're just moving on from Matt Ryan. So Chargers, they've hit their stride a little bit right now too. They're getting some wins. A couple of them I think were a little questionable whether they should have had some of the calls. You know what I mean? But against the Colts team that we don't know what they are right now. You know, they're struggling. I like the Chargers in this one. Not much to be said about this.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to go with the Chargers on this and hope the Colts win.
All right. I think that's all of them. I wrote all of them down. I don't know if I missed. I didn't see the Vikings in any of these games, so I'm afraid I missed a game. But
Are they on a bye week?
I don't know. I don't know if bye weeks are over, and it's Saturday's games are going on, which you can check real quick. But what do you guys think out there with the Chargers and Colts? How are you guys doing in your picks so far this season? How about fantasy, too? What are you guys doing in fantasy?
Yeah,
we haven't talked fantasy at all this season at all.
No one brought it up.
Nobody brought
year.
it up. Yeah, we didn't have our fantasy guys out there, but how are you guys doing in fantasy out there?
I got one gripe
here
about fantasy.
Hold on real quick. Just Tom Leiter says San Diego ER Los Angeles. What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure what the ER is.
I don't know. Either do I. I don't know. Because even if he's thinking emergency room, it is now
San
actually
Diego
emergency
Air
department.
LA.
I don't know. I'm not good at that stuff. But anyway, so what were you saying about your point about fantasy? What did you want to bring up?
All right, so a league that I'm in, right?
Sure.
I was tied with the sixth rated team to make the playoffs, right? They were 7-7. I was 7-7. I beat them in the season, the regular season. So how I run my leagues is head to head.
Yeah.
So if you beat that team in the regular season and you're tied at the end of the year, you go above them.
Yeah, yeah.
They drop down.
Yeah.
Guess who was out? Not in the playoffs. Yeah.
Because of what? Overall points scored?
No,
Or what?
I don't know what.
You
And the
don't know
commissioner can't even tell me the real. Can't even tell me. Just his explanation was that's weird. The system's been really funky this season. What does that mean? How about if you're a commissioner? If you're a commissioner, you have the power to change anything.
Yeah.
So if it's supposed to be like I believed I was supposed to be in the playoffs, I should have an opportunity to be in the playoffs and to maybe win, but that was never granted to me. Then just nothing ever happened. So I was a little upset about it.
That's why, again, for me, I don't play fantasy. I have enough letdowns in life as it is and things like that. I don't need to do that to myself for fantasy either. Like get my hopes up or like wonder why I just lost for nothing, for something out of my control completely.
Giants at Vikings.
Oh, Giants at Vikings.
That's Saturday.
Honestly, I did. I missed that one. I must have overskipped a Saturday.
Did you
game.
miss any other ones?
No, that was it, though.
Okay, just that one.
Dude, because I was writing a ton. Maybe that's why I was just like, dude, there's so many games. I'm writing them all out because my printer is not hooked up yet. I don't think, but we're getting things hooked up as we go. Like you guys can see out here, a little plane right here. But Joe did a great job getting this together here for everybody. So
just threw it all together.
Appreciate Joe. So Vikings and Giants. Where it's going to be in Minnesota or
Minnesota?
New York? Oh.
It's in Minnesota. Giants at Vikings.
Pick the Vikings, even though, because again, the Giants. Right. I think the Giants really can because Minnesota. They've shown this whole season
they
barely get by. Yeah, maybe that's good. You want to say that they could win those tough games, but really they're just looked terrible. Like through a lot of the games and just barely can get back into it.
I get you.
And the Giants are one of those teams that when you do that, they can get you. You know what I mean? They've done it.
Yeah.
And what's funny is we were watching the game here at 6:05. By the way, the curse is broken at 6:05. The Giants win. That slowly because of the terrible injuries and just the terrible weaponry that the Giants do have, they're making a little bit of a name out of Richie James out there making plays for them. It's sad. You're like, people know who this guy is now. But Nate says Vikings. I say the Vikings. Skol, baby. All right, so
Vikings.
What do you got? You got Skol?
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Vikings. Kirk
and
Cousins.
Andy said Andy picks the Chargers.
And he picks the Chargers.
Shocker.
There you go. Yeah, it's nothing crazy there.
That's the other thing too is LA is getting healthy at the right time.
Yeah.
Like their O line is coming back. They're starting all their starters.
Yep. But all right, that was our line check for the night and
thanks for
our
joining.
Show. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will do more stuff with this.
We're going to change some things up.
But
we'll see.
I just moved, so thank you, you guys that tuned in,
especially
Nate and Tom. You guys, you're know-it-alls for a while.
Right.
Thank you so much. And I guess we'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Join us next week from 8 till 10 Wednesday night for more Football on the Know with Jim and Joe.